So I recently watched this new movie on Netflix. It's called Run. It's a psychological thriller. And I realized while watching it that it is the perfect example of gaslighting. So I'm going to use this video to take you through, first of all, what the heck gaslighting is, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, a few examples of gaslighting seen in the movie, but also how that translates into reality. And also, of course, stick with me to the end of this video so I can show you how this mother, and by the way, just because this is a movie doesn't mean it doesn't really happen in reality. So yeah, explain to you how this mother actually made her daughter question her own reality and even her own health. So like I said, Run is played by Sarah Paulson. I love her. If you're watching, Sarah, huge fan. She's also played in American Horror Story. And she plays the mother, Diane, and then she has her daughter, Chloe. And the whole movie kind of goes around their relationship. Now, it's a psychological thriller, hence my choice of T-search, which says psychopaths, people that sleep well after watching a scary movie. That's me. I love thrillers. And this movie was perfect, and it fits so well into what I do and what I try to explain to you guys. So let's see, in Run, who left the gaslight on. So, if you have no idea who I am, my name's Olympia, and with my studies in cognitive neuroscience and art history, what I like to do, I like to dissect that pretty little brain of yours to see what makes you tick, but also makes you talk. So before I go on, make sure to smash the subscribe button and ring that bell for your weekly Thursday videos. And let's start. So first of all, what the heck is gaslighting? Gaslighting is a type of emotional abuse. It's psychological abuse where the abuser makes you question your own sanity. How do they do this? I've done a bunch of videos on how to gaslight someone in 20 phrases a gaslighter would tell you. They basically feed you small seeds. They make you doubt certain situations. They make you doubt your thoughts, your emotions, your feeling. And they do this for such a long time where you end up relying your own sanity, your own reality on the abuser. So you kind of go to the abuser in order for you to understand what's real and what's false. So Run was originally released on Hulu in 2020, and now internationally it's been released on Netflix. And it's about this relationship between mother and daughter. And the daughter is chronically ill. Or so we think so. And why this movie is the perfect example of gaslighting, it is because it encompasses so many tactics that I've talked about in my other videos. I will link them below. So one of the things that the mother does, basically this daughter is dependent on all these pills. She has different types of conditions, but in reality, what happens is that the pills that her mother is giving her are making her sick. Why? Because the mother wants to have control over her child. So in the beginning, we see very early on how Chloe, which is the daughter's name, so how Chloe is waiting to see whether she got into university. And every time she goes outside to see whether the mailman has come with her acceptance letter, hopefully, we see that her mother is already there before her. By the way, Chloe's in a wheelchair because that's one of her conditions. She's paralyzed from the waist down. And so Chloe keeps waiting for the acceptance letters to come in, but we learn later on that her mother has been hiding these acceptance letters because she doesn't want to lose her. It's a very psychologically twisted film. And the other thing that her mom does, which is something that I've also talked in my videos, is the process of triangulation. So triangulation is when you when the gaslighter brings in another person into the situation so they can convince the victim that they are wrong, that what they're thinking is not true. And her mother does this by asking the doctor to talk to Chloe. So background a bit behind that. Chloe finds the box of pills, and it doesn't have her name on, it has her mom's name. So she starts to become a bit suspicious. When she confronts her mom about why these pills have her mom's names and not Chloe's name, her mom says that that's just the receipt, that's where they put the receipt. So she's lying to her, obviously. And when Chloe, by various means, finds out what medication she's taking and what's it used for, she figures out that the medication she's taking is actually for animals, and it is a muscle relaxant, and it is to put animals to sleep. But when they give it to humans, they become paralyzed. So the entire movie kind of goes through this realization that Chloe has that her mom is gaslighting her. And so when Chloe finds out, for example, that these pills that she's taking are actually for animals and are actually muscle relaxant, her mom employs this tactic of triangulation by calling the doctor and saying, could you please tell Chloe that the pills that she's taking are safe, that she's not taking animal pills, that I would never try and harm her. So this is a perfect example of gaslighting and triangulation, because the mom is bringing in an authority figure, the doctor, who has much more credibility than the mom herself, in order to convince Chloe that she's okay, distorting her reality. Now, this ties into another part of gaslighting, which is minimizing the emotions of the victim, but also making them feel like they're losing their mind and questioning their reality. So in one of the scenes in the movie, Chloe runs into the pharmacy to find out what this pill is, the one that I told you about. And when her mom sees her at the pharmacy, she completely flips out, because obviously she's afraid that Chloe's going to find out the truth. And she tells the doctor, she tells Chloe that the medication that you are taking, the new medication, that the ones that you saw that had my name on, which was actually for you, they make you feel a bit paranoid, and they mess up with your mind a bit and with your memory. So the mother is using the medication, the pills, as a way to gaslight her daughter into thinking that she's losing her mind. So this is why I'm saying constantly that this movie is the perfect example of gaslighting. And lastly, in the end of the scenes where we find out a bit more, I'm not going to give away the ending, we see how when Chloe stops taking the pills, that she actually realizes that she's not sick. But her mother, the final tactics of gaslighting that she employs, the final ways that she's trying to get her daughter back, is by either guilting her or pulling on the mom strings, saying that I would do anything for you, that I need you, that you need me. That's the most basic one, that you can't live without me, you are dependent on me. And that's what the gaslighter wants. The gaslighter wants full control. That's why Diane, the mother, didn't want her to go off to college. That's why she gave her all these pills, to make her dependent on her, and for her to have, and Diane to have complete control over Chloe. Another way this movie shows you some examples of gaslighting and way of gaslighting, we see this really early on, is that Chloe, the daughter, doesn't have an iPhone, doesn't have a phone in general. And when she actually goes to check this pill, it's like the kind of whole movie revolves around this medication mystery. When she actually goes on the internet to check this medication, her mom is sitting in the back, very creepy, and takes out the internet. And suddenly she's offline, and she's not allowed. She doesn't have a computer. She doesn't have a phone. So this is another thing that the gaslighter does to the victim. They isolate them. Usually they isolate them from their family and friends, but Chloe never even had a chance to make any friends, because she was homeschooled. She never had a chance to meet any other family because she was trapped in a house. And she had no chance of meeting other people online because she didn't have a phone or a laptop. So this movie has so many examples of how to gaslight someone. It has triangulation, like I said. It has using lies, minimizing her emotions, telling her that she's overreacting, blaming things on the medication, using authority figures in order to make you question your own reality, making Chloe question her own mind. So let me know in the comments below, but first of all, if you watched the movie. Second of all, did you like the ending? And third, have you been gaslighted? Has someone ever done any of these techniques? Now, gaslighting, like any type of psychological warfare, is very overwhelming, and I put together a free guide for you. I will link it below too, of 6 ways to underwhelm when you're overwhelmed, because no matter what you're going through, gaslighting will create a lot of overwhelm. It will question your own reality, so you need to have a very solid foundation. You have to have ways to ground yourself, and that's part of my guide. Like I said, help a girl out by smashing that subscribe button, giving me a huge thumbs up to make Mama Algorithm love me, ringing that bell for your weekly Thursday videos. But most importantly, guys, please share this video with someone who you think may be gaslighted. And that's it, folks.